On the 8th day of Christmas, my magic pack gave to me Mondrak, Glorious, Dominus, 2 mana, 2 white, 4/4, 1 or more tokens will be created. Create twice that many. Sacrifice, make it indestructible, of course. Alright, this is Told, welcome. And we got Mondrak in the pack for day 8. So whenever 1 or more tokens will be created under your control, create twice that many of tokens. And then the more important part that we're looking at is the sacrifice 2 other artifacts and or creatures and put an indestructible counter on Mondrak to make it a 4, and it's a 4/4. So what we're doing with that is we want to combo it with the Skullspore Nexus. So it's 6 mana, 2 green, and it costs X less to cast, where X is the greatest power among creatures. So hopefully we can get that in for somewhere between 5 or less. You know, if we have a 4 creature out, 4 power creature Mondrak out, then it costs 4. So we already know that we can cast it, assuming that we have 2 green sources. And then when that creature dies, you create a token with a base power and toughness equal to the power of those creatures that died that turn. So it'll create 1 creature, but if we have Mondrak out, 1 combined creature, so if a bunch of creatures die on your side, then it creates 1 total creature, but if Mondrak's out, it'll create 2 of those tokens. So hopefully we'll get 2 big bodies on the board, and we can use its ability to double target creature's power until end of turn. We just want to make sure we do that before we sweep the board. So the idea is we get Mondrak out, we give him indestructible, then we sweep the board, and then we get a Nexus token from the creatures, the other creatures that we had that died, and their board will be clear, and we'll be able to, you know, swing in next turn. I put 1 farewell in just because I need to be able to remove people's graveyards and enchantments, not necessarily creatures, but maybe we want to remove creatures as well. This is an exile effect, it doesn't work with the Nexus. I put 1 herd migration in there just because we have we'll have 4 different colors for the domain, so we could create 4 3/3 beasts or 8 3/3 beasts if Mondrak's on the board, and then also just for some ramp and life gain for those pesky mono red players. And we also have the Thirsty Roots, green mana, where you could search for a basic land, reveal it, put it into your hand and shuffle. Or we could use it for the proliferate ability, which we don't really have much for proliferation. We do have the Take Up Shield, which gives a +1 counter, but that's about it. So we're mainly looking at, you know, searching for land with that card. And we have another way, a way to kill our creatures on the opponent's turn, so that we can get a Skullspore Nexus token that's a big boy. So we can, you know, sacrifice our creature and draw 2 cards. You know, we can sack it on their turn. Then it becomes a creature. Maybe we get 2 of them, 2 big bodies that come in, and then we can attack in. We have 2 Join the Dances, which creates 2 1/1 human creatures, and it has flashback, so we can cast it twice. So we can use that with Mondrak. We can use that as the 2 creatures to sack to Mondrak. Mondrak also does artifacts for that, but I didn't put that many in. I do have the Skrill's Hive that creates tokens and creature tokens that can be sacked, and you can this is an enchantment. But then, you know, if you give them 3 poison counters, then your tokens will have lifelink. Not really a main deal. To get lost, to remove creatures. 1 Moment of Valor to go along with the Take Up Shield for the indestructibility. And this is more for the Wandering Emperor. So, you know, if they try to Wandering Emperor Mondrak, we can hopefully untap it and keep it alive. I got 2 Shakedown Heavies for some card draw, and also just a big body to make the Nexus only cost 2. And, you know, 2 Hammer Skulls as well in there for that same thing. We don't really have that many dinosaurs, so the Hammer Skull will be getting that stun counter on it, which isn't ideal, but what we really want to do is, you know, destroy that creature. So hopefully we get this out, we can double its power, so it's a 12/12, then we can sack it, on the opponent's turn, or it'll be a 12-6 rather, and then we sack it on the opponent's turn, that's 12-6, and it'll come back as two 12-12s if we have Mondrak out. We also have the Roaming Throne, which we're going to choose Phyrexia for, which will work with the Bloated Contaminator and Glissa, as well as Mondrak to double those abilities. So if a trigger ability of another creature controls triggers type, triggers an additional time. And then we have two glitches in there, of course, where if it attacks and it's unblocked, it can do a variety of things. You can draw a card, lose a life, destroy an enchantment, or remove 3 counters from target permanent. So we could remove the stun counter with Glissa instead of drawing a card, but most likely you want to draw a card. And then we have the big Glissa is you can incubate twice, which you'll make 4 tokens if Mondrak's on the board, or the Roaming Throne. You can do this action twice actually with the Roaming Throne, and you can transform all your incubator tokens. You can make 4 incubator tokens, transform them, and they'll be ready to go. Or we can store up some tokens, wipe the board, and then we have a bunch of tokens. And then Phyrexia you control gain first strike and death touch till end of turn, which could come into play. So let's get into some games and see how we do. Mana's pretty good. Don't have any of our core pieces, but join the dance on turn 3. Hammer Skull turn 3. Bloated Contaminator turn 3. Yeah, having some +1 counters would be great on the Bloated Contaminator. That's always good because it gets to proliferate. Probably dinosaurs. Mono red maybe. I think I'll go with this just to get some creatures out there. Maybe soak up some big damage that he's gonna sneak in right here. Dinosaurs it is. I think we'll just take this damage. I think I'll go Hammers. Do I do Greedy? I'm gonna go Greedy. Probably the Hammer Skull's a better choice, but if I can use the Take Up Shield on the Bloated Contaminator next turn, I'll gain 5 life, and we'll start the clock of pumping up our guy. It might be too big for them. You might have to get a big dinosaur out for them to kill it. I guess I should have kept the guy back. I think I have to block this here, even though they could kill my Contaminator, but what can you do? I think I'm still going to go with the Take Up Shield. Maybe just keep him back, but so I could block with this guy and then sack him to draw some cards if he doesn't get trampled. And that 5 life gain really helps out, stabilize a little bit. So we did find the trample card, so I don't need to block. Unless he goes with the questing tree. So no blocks here. Which is fine. Cottage sets up Glissa for next turn. think I'm still going to swing in with 2 guys. Get that maximum damage. Could be a mistake, but seeing as how we got the Hammer Skull as a blocker, so we got 2 guys back. They won't have anything to do with the Bloated Contaminator. They could put out that big dinosaur. Might just have this win. So yeah, that 5 leg king and the +1 counter, really good. Could have, I'm going to double block this because he could have a Monstrous Rage in his hand, which would be devastating to us. So if he has a Monstrous Rage and I only block with the 1/1, then he pumps this guy up to a 9 damage, 10 damage with this prowess, and then it would kill my guy and still give me lethal. That's why I had to block with 2. Not the best mana, but we'll try it. Could Hive on turn 2. That might be something really difficult for them to deal with, depending on what we're playing against. If it's Domain, or if it's Demir Legends, or Esper Legends. Might be alright. I might have a Get Lost with the white. Definitely Skull Nexus next turn if the Shakedown Heavy survives. This is a pretty good play, but I think being able to draw a card, maybe I shouldn't have played that land first. So they could have another discard spell, so we'd want to get land is great. Allows us to get Blissa down. And remember, if they remove our creatures now, they come back as a dinosaur. Second Shieldred. I think we go Mondrak. We won't be doing the draw spell, so we'll destroy this enchantment, which they still get the scry ability, but we don't want to draw. Put out the Field of Ruin. Oh, I guess I could have Field of Ruin and doubled up the damage, but we'll do that next turn. That is an artifact, I don't think we want to destroy it. Land is okay. They won't be able to get Shieldred above power. This is only doesn't matter whenever. Second Glissa is pretty good. So I can destroy their enchantment. Gives me another card. That's good. We don't have the black mana to sack our guy. They should have went with Mondrak. I could have doubled his power, maybe. Did I have the mana? I think we might be able to get him here. Transform all the tokens. Mondrak. 8. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, all out. Oh man. That's bad. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 18, 19. I'll kick myself if I have lethal and don't take it. I guess I could have still doubled up Glissa. Pretty good. 2 mana, not bad. Got our colors. I think we go heavy. We look like a fight rigging deck. We're not a fight rigging deck. Alright. I think we go shakedown heavy. We go shakedown heavy in case they got another removal spell. We'll be able to kill that with Glissa eventually. I want that card draw for some more lands, hopefully. Ravine. They might take the damage so that they can swing in. Think they could swing in? I think I like Glissa here. Because if Glissa survives, then we could swing in. This is also a good blocker. So if he does survive, he's going to be a blocker. He'll probably put that stuff on the Hopeful Initiate. My life total isn't the... So he got rid of a Destroy Evil. That's interesting. I think we attack first. Take out that knight. think he understands what he just did. I'm gonna... guess I'll be greedy. Probably has a counter spell. Does not have a counter spell. So now he has 2 threats that he needs to worry about removing. We no longer are worried about our life total as much. I guess we are worried about our life total a little bit. I think we're just gonna depopulate here, I guess. He could have a counter spell. He's got 1 card in his hand. So he's either got it or he doesn't. If I had 1 more land, I would do that, but I don't. Ooh. And will this depop? He either has it or he doesn't. 1 card in his hand. It's getting close. So join the dance offers up protection. Could attack with the land. He's either got it or he doesn't. That'll do it. Oh, he had it. Why didn't he do it beforehand? Oops. Why did he wait? I clicked it as fast as I could. That's good. Maybe I need some more life gain or something just to counteract that. So I usually don't play with the hive, so I don't like that -1 life part. But it is what it is. Not too bad of a deck. It's not super fast, but the combo of the Skullspore Nexus with the Depopulate and Vanquish. Like, you probably don't even need Mondrak for that. If you maybe went with a red haste thing, might be really good, because you can just wipe the board, you know, get a bunch of creatures back. The thing is, you need to make sure you know, non-token creatures need to die, so the Join the Dance doesn't really help, and the Hive tokens don't really help when you wipe the board. Yeah, so this has been Told. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and we'll see you tomorrow.